Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I'm going to go over GoPro color grading. Again, I've done this in the past a few times and the results have been, okay. And some of that stuff still applies, but I've found a much more aesthetically pleasing look that I think more people would actually like to use versus all the funky stuff that I was doing before. So I'm going to try to make this as brief as I possibly can. I'm using Final Cut Pro. If you're using something different, I'm sorry, but this is what I'm using. Most of the same stuff applies. So there's plenty of tutorials out there on other platforms on how to do a lot of the same stuff, but the same basic techniques apply. So I like to make my color grading as easy as possible, and so I've gotten into recently using LUTs. Lookup tables, and I've talked about that in the past. I'll have links to all these videos I'm talking about down in the description. So you can go back and watch this if you want. Anyways, so using LUTs, lookup tables, and they definitely can help you get your look a whole lot faster, but you have to be careful with those. Most of those are designed for a particular type of video format, and getting GoPro footage in that format is not always the easiest, and I know I mentioned before in one of those videos on how to do that to get it to 709. That particular LUT, while it works, I don't think it's all that great. So until GoPro releases an official LUT to convert their footage to 709, I don't know that you can really get into that. So the other day I found this interesting LUT though by this one fellow who was taking GoPro footage from the same type of settings that I use, which is flat and pretty much everything else the same. Again, his video is linked down below, and took that footage and made it have a nice cinematic color, which was very well balanced, not overly done, and just looks really good. So that's what I started using. So use that, and you can make some tweaks and stuff to it, and get a really nice look and feel. And while looking at that LUT, I came across some other videos. Again, these are all linked down below from these other two places. Well, one other place, and he was talking about the teal and orange look, which I've used a LUT in the past to kind of get that effect, but it really wasn't correct. I kind of like some of the looks sometimes, but it really wasn't correct. So I found this video, and this guy was describing what teal and orange means and why it works, and so you want to go watch that. But we're going to kind of go through a little bit of what he does, but he goes into a lot more detail about it and why it works, and why it's a good thing to do. So anyways, with all that said, I'm going to give you a quick rundown on the way that I go about doing my color grading now. So the first thing that I do is I add an adjustment layer. If you're using something other than Final Cut, it's probably already got adjustment layers built in. Final Cut doesn't. I have a link down in the description below, again, just like everything else, with how to get adjustment layers for Final Cut. Once you get those, you add an adjustment layer, and then what you can do is you can apply all your effects to the adjustment layer, and then you can easily turn things on and off. And you can easily do this for all of your clips. So normally in Final Cut, you'd have to do each individual clip. You'd have to copy and paste from one to another, or you'd have to do each one individually, and that's a real pain in the butt. So I like to do the adjustment layer, and then I can just do it one time. So the first thing that I do is I apply my LUT. So come down here to MLUT, and I'm going to add this plugin to my adjustment layer. That is loaded up. It's right here. Now I want to load up this custom LUT. Again, all this is linked in the description. And I have all my LUTs on this external drive in a Final Cut folder. And this particular LUT is called Cine1MM. Load that up. Takes a second. And there, boom, you can see the big difference already just in doing that. Now, I use my exposure, I have my exposure set a little bit low. I think if you had it set at 0, this LUT would probably work a lot better, but I always set mine a little bit low so I don't lose any of my highlights. So what I do then after applying this LUT is I bring up my midtones a little bit here till they look about where I want them to look. Maybe a little slow. So bring the midtones not that much, Stacey. About right in there, I think. And then I usually lower my contrast down just a smidge. I like that little bit flat look. Get that just there. I'll leave pretty much all the rest of it alone. And then now once you've done this, that's what I was doing. And then when I came across this teal and orange, I decided to start taking this a little bit further. So what you do now is we add a color wheels correction. And for teal and orange, basically what you're doing is you're going to bring the shadows toward teal, the midtones toward orange, and the highlights toward teal. Or if you want a slightly warmer look, you can take the highlights toward orange as well. So we're going to do that here. So you take the color wheel and you just kind of drag it over toward teal. If I can get mine to work here. So we're going to take this over toward teal. You can kind of see what the colors you're getting based on the little part there on the left. Alright, so we've got that. Now we're going to take our midtones and we want to take these toward orange. And the reason you want to do this, he talks about, but basically it is to make people pop. In our case, we're not doing people, but it still actually works. So we're going to bring this over toward orange in the midtones, and you can already see a difference here. So turn this off, kind of show you what this looks like. Turn it back on, off, on, right there, and then we take our highlights. We'll make it a little more pronounced too, and we'll take our highlights over toward teal as well. Get that over there. All right, let's bring our midtones orange up a good bit more. What you'll notice when you mess with highlights and you mess with midtones, they affect one another. It's way up here. There we go. Now, turn it off. Maybe. There we go. Off. And then on. You can see a difference there with it. It takes a hint of that bluish, purplish look when you do this out of it. Now let's look at some other footage through here. This is a video that's coming out tomorrow, so you guys can get a little sneak peek by watching this. So there's that, and if we turn the teal and orange look off. Man, my computer is slow. And then back on. You see it kind of warms it up a little bit there in the middle. Makes the highlights pop a little bit more. And then let's see here. Show you one more little piece of it here. My computer will cooperate. My computer. Man, this thing is slow today. Try this here. There we go. Oh, there's a nice sneak peek. Alright, so come back over here to our adjustment layer. And on our adjustment layer here, you can see we got all our different effects. If we turn all these effects off, there is the original footage. We turn them back on, there's that footage. And that's basically it. You can go through and you can tweak your highlights and your shadows and whatnot a little bit too, and get a little bit more fine tuning, but that's basically the gist of it. I apply that one particular LUT, and then I tweak the color wheels to do the orange teal thing, and that's about it. I think it makes for a really nice effect. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully this isn't too long. And if you want to see more of this stuff, let me know, and I'll try to do that. And if you don't want to see more of it, let me know that too. Hit that dislike button. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next video. Look forward to showing you a little bit of this video here that we're looking at right now. I think you'll like it, kind of get out of my comfort zone a little bit. So we look forward to that tomorrow. See you guys later. Have a good one. Bye.